Today, let's have a quick look at progressing the skin the cat. So the skin the cat is seen as this position. So we go from a hanging position, knees up to chest, inverted, German hang, back to the start position. Just be careful your hat doesn't come off. Now, if you're new to calisthenics and this type of ring training, then that itself is quite challenging. It'll normally take you a while to get that full movement all the way down to German hang and back again. I've got a great video on that where I progress it all the way from the beginner level to the full version like I just showed there. And I'll link that down in the description at the end of the video. Once you have that down, we can take it to another level and go to straight body. Now, straight body is seen as having a straight line from the hands all the way to the feet. And then when you rotate, your shoulder to feet stays as one piece. You go all the way through, inverted, all the way down to your German hang again. And then you pull back up, leading with the feet, all the way back down to the starting position. Now, that's fantastic if you have high rings and a big open space. I don't currently have that in my home gym. And a lot of you guys are going to be exactly the same. So how do we train as close to that as possible, but in more of a confined space? So straight away, I can't hang in a straight body because my knees have to bend, if not my toes are going to touch the floor. So I'm limited in that height. I'm also limited at the top. When I'm upside down, I can't open up here because I'm going to hit the ceiling. And then I'm limited at the back with this wall. So I can't open out too much because again, I'm going to hit and run out of space. But let's start opening out from that tuck beginner position into harder progressions, and we'll see how we deal with this as we go. Okay, so that bottom position, let's go from, instead of being in a tight tuck, let's go to advanced tuck. So advanced tuck is seen as having the knees in line with the hips and more of a flat back. Let's try and maintain that position all the way. Now I hit the ceiling, I'm gonna have to go into an easier or more tucked position, and then open out when I can, back to that advanced tuck all the way down. Now I can hang at the bottom, but I want to get back to that advanced tuck. And then that bit, as you come back up, it's really important that you keep in that advanced tuck and you don't bring the knees to the chest as you go inverted. It's very common to tuck back up. So watch that again. So if I'm in that position, here's my advanced tuck. This is what's common, knees to chest. What I want to do is lead with the feet more. So it keeps me in that advanced, more open position. And that's why I'd highly recommend videoing yourself from the side and see what your body actually does. You'll unknowingly cheat or go into more efficient positions in the harder parts of the exercise, especially when you can't see yourself. But just think where the main goal is when we're progressing towards that 360 straight body position, we're just going to slowly make the body longer and longer. So the lever arm is going to extend and make the position more intense. So when we're extending out of this tight tuck position, I have two things that I can extend. I can extend the knee, so straighten the leg, and I can straighten or extend the hip. So I can go all the way into what's called a half lay position when we fully open the hip angle like so. So I now have a straight line from my knee to my shoulder, but I'm keeping my knee bent. So when you start opening out, you're either extending both things at the same time. So like this, I'll be extending the legs and opening the hip, or I can just extend the legs, or I can just extend the hips. Now, most people are going to find opening those hips up throughout the movement much harder than extending the legs. So let's go to that now and feel the difference. I'm going to go into a half lay position. So open hip, bent knees, and I'm going to try and pull up to here. I need to get through. Then I need to open out again through that half lay position. I can extend back to half lay, pull up with the feet, see if I can get through. Have to go in a tuck, back to half lay, open out, back down. Now that's quite challenging, and if you can do that, you're actually nearly to the full 360 pull. What most of you will find at the moment is when you try and pull back or try and pull up, your hip is actually going to close a little bit as you do it. So again, video yourself on the side, make sure you're trying to open the hip as much as possible. It doesn't mean it's wrong if the hip starts to close, it just means it's not quite as hard. And then you slowly progress to having that full open hip. Okay, so far the only limitation or restriction we've hit with the confined space is this top bar. This back one hasn't been an issue yet, but as I start to open up further, it's going to become an issue. Now the cool thing with the being restricted here is that's the easiest part. Gravity's got the least effect on us because we have the least amount of lever arms sticking out to the front or to the back. So going into a tuck position here is not a big issue. So once we've gone to advanced tuck, we've had a play with that half lay, we've gone to even a froggy position. So a froggy position is like this. So I've gone into a open-ish hip, an open-ish knee, meaning we're not fully straight at the knee, we're not fully open at the hip. We're somewhere in between. And that would be slightly easier than that half lay position. The next one is going to be more of an open hip straddle position. So now extending the legs but being in straddle. That's slightly easier than being in a straight position. But I'm not going to be able to start until I come far enough out where I can extend the body. So it's going to have to open up as I go, and then as I come towards the ceiling, I'm going to have to close back again to get through. Now here, restriction a little bit by the wall. Let's go back up, leading with the heels. Felt my hip close a little bit. It does feel confined that way. So one option would be to do one repetition this way, and then I turn around this way. So the wall's going to be in the way on the way up, but it's not going to be in the way on the back lever part coming down this end to the German hang and back again. So I would just go with whatever variation I can do this way. Maybe that half lay position again. Go up, bend the knees and the hips to get past the bar, open to my straddle, back down. Now lead with the heels as I come back up into a tuck, then half lay to come back down. So it's not ideal, but it's filling most of the gaps with opening up to harder positions. Okay, then the finale, let's see if we can go as straight body as possible through the front and through the back, but I'm just again gonna have to turn around. So let's go through the front first. Okay, and then let's turn around and focus on the back. So half lay, tuck, straight position, lead with the heels. Ooh, that's hard. And then break down. So what I found there was normally when I've got the high rings, I can actually use a little bit of momentum to take me up. But because I was restricted at the top and here, it forced me to be much stricter pulling out of that bottom position. And the other thing I noticed was having the straps so short like this, the rings don't rotate as nicely, which again made it quite a bit harder. So I struggled on that way back up. So it's not ideal, but you can definitely get away with it. You can definitely progress your skin to cat. You could isolate positions, just work on that front part, just work on that back part, which is great to help you with your front levers and your back levers, and just your straight arm strength in general. Let me know if you have any questions on this one. If you are still learning that standard skin to cat, check out this video. If you're after coaching or help with your training, check out my website, www.paultwyman.com.au, and I'll speak to you in the next one.